All right. Welcome. This is the first episode of the Stix. I'm Drew.
I'm Aidan.
So basically we're just two broke college students here to talk sports.
Mm-hmm.
To kick it off, we're gonna start talking college football. Um, so we're gonna start off talking about just three quick games from our some of our favorite teams. First of all, UNC gets the win against Minnesota this weekend. Drake May threw two picks. They were not very good picks, but he did throw for 400 yards and some change. And they get the win. The defense looks kind of decent. Very surprising. Because UNC defense, especially last week against Mr. App State, they looked horrible, garbage. So next, Charlotte, where I go to college, they lose to Georgia State, and it was a shit show. I
Yeah,
mean,
I really wanted uh Charlotte to pull it through just because they're going up against the in-conference rival,
yeah,
Georgia State in the Sun Belt.
no, but they
Unfortunately, Georgia State is one of the few undefeated FBS teams still alive,
yeah,
along with Carolina. So
true that. Um, some a team that has lost a game. NC State plays VMI and they absolutely destroy them. No surprise there. I mean, not much to
yeah,
that it's an FCS opponent. We knew that was gonna happen.
yeah.
But a game that we both went to, Appalachian State versus ECU. Great game. At least for the first three quarters.
It started off a little slow for my boy Joey Aguilar and the
Yeah.
Mountaineers, but started off ECU goes down and scores.
And
And
then
then
Nate
I'll
Noel,
just Nate Noel busted a big one, a huge
big
run straight
one.
to the house
Yeah, and it was a close one for about
for about three
three
quarters.
three three quarters of the game.
Yeah,
There towards the end of the third quarter, ECU started to sell. They started to really just like, I mean, I saw a stat that they had 42 yards of offense in the second half.
I did not see that. That's
Yeah,
actually crazy.
yeah, they had 42 yards of offense in the second half. I haven't seen an offense that bad since last night.
Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. We'll get to that later. So talking about some winners and losers for the week. A big let's talk about let's go with winners first. So first we're gonna start off with Missouri. They go in, they have Kansas State, a ranked opponent coming in,
hmm
city, and they get the win off of
Did
a
you did you
Mhm.
see that when they were announcing the lineups, they booed the quarterback.
Did they?
They booed the quarterback.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's crazy. Matt Mervis Mevis. I don't quite remember his name. My apologies. But he goes in there, hits I think a 61 yarder. I think it was 61 he hit to win that game for Missouri. That was just a crazy game. Missouri's coach did in fact coach at a certain Appalachian college.
Did he
So
now?
yeah, Jinkowitz, former coach of Appalachian State, leads his Missouri team to a win against to a ranked opponent. Excuse me. Um, I'd say a loser this week was Tennessee. Oh my lord,
Tennessee, Tennessee going into the game against Florida favored
but
number 11 in the country.
they blow it. I mean, they looked horrible, but
It was a trap. It was a trap game. They're going
I could
up
have
against
told you
the
that.
SEC. They're going up against the SEC rival. They think it's going to be all fun and games, all easy because they're heavy favorites. All
Uh-huh.
right.
Yeah. Nope.
Florida goes in there and they kill them.
I could have told you 2 weeks ago that Tennessee was not going to be good. I mean, Tennessee was absolute utter crap. 2 weeks ago against Virginia.
Mhm.
Yeah, they were horrible. And so I knew coming into this game that they would be bad. I didn't think this bad. I thought that they would be at least like, maybe coming out with the win. But Florida's a good team. I give them credit. Their only loss was against a good Utah team. So they're pretty good. But not I didn't think they would beat Tennessee as badly as they did, because it was not a close game.
Yeah. One of the bigger winners of this week, I believe, is Colorado.
I'm not sure if they're a winner.
I think they are.
They,
Before the season, they were projected to get the lowest amount of wins in all of FBS teams at 2.7.
but
And they're 3-0 right now.
They went up against an 0-2 team in Colorado State, and they were losing for most of the game.
I think
So,
I think that might be the newest big rivalry. Not gonna lie. I didn't know it was that big, and then the tension between them before the game.
yeah. What do you think about the hit that Henry Blackburn did to Travis Hunter?
Honestly, literally first time I saw that, it made me mad. Actually, it was only done to get a point across to strike fear in the team, but it wasn't anything that was sportsmanlike at all. It just made me mad. I saw it and it was just like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I know what you mean.
and now he's out for multiple weeks in concussion protocol, I believe.
No, it was
And
he had a liver injury, I think. It was like a I don't remember, but they said it was a liver injury, Travis Hunter.
I was gonna say I was surprised it wasn't anything worse because it looked like a brutal hit. Like
Yeah.
that's just uncalled for.
But
I'm glad Shador got all up in the face after that.
yeah, but speaking of Shador and unsportsmanlike, did you see his little eye poke?
I didn't see that.
You didn't? He stuck his fingers into the face mask of a Colorado State player and tried to poke him in the eye, that's just like, I mean, it's where I think here's my stance on it. I think that the play, it was a late hit. That's obvious, but it was a football play. Like you're not gonna see a hit like that in any other sport. But trying to poke someone in the eye, that's just being a douche. That's just being bad.
I agree. Did you see? I don't remember what his name was. It was something Horn on Colorado
Jimmy
State.
Horn.
Jimmy Horn. He scored that touchdown. He hit the Dion and the Shador.
Yeah.
And then after the game, Shador had on his glasses and his hat, and he was like,
yeah,
right in the camera.
I did see that. He said he was going Brady mode. He said he was going Brady mode.
Oh, but the reason, honestly, I would say more of a winner other than Colorado, isn't just Colorado. I think it's just like Shador. They were down multiple scores in the fourth quarter, like late in the fourth.
Yeah.
And he balled out. He clutched up. He's 100% in the Heisman race, and if not, that's his Heisman moment right there.
Facts. We're gonna see though. He has a tough Oregon opponent.
They have a tough schedule.
Yeah, they do.
Extremely hard.
They play in the Pac-12, which is a good conference. Weird how
they're all splitting up.
They're all splitting up. Everyone's leaving. So
I don't understand.
So how are we feeling about the top 25? I'll pull it up right here. Yeah. So Florida, I feel like that's a given.
Yeah, they just beat number 23 Tennessee. Jeez, they dropped 12 spots.
Oopsies.
But
yeah, I feel like that's a given that they They hop in there. Iowa's not good. I mean, their offense is crap. They play Penn State this
They
week.
just have a crazy defense.
They play Penn State
But
this week.
Iowa always has a good defense.
Yeah, they do, but their offense is garbage. They're
Yeah,
gonna get exposed this week by Penn State. I know what they are.
yeah,
I'm
definitely.
surprised Tennessee stayed in the top 25, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, I know it's only week 3, but I'm surprised they dropped that much. Dropping 12 spots is kind of crazy.
it is pretty crazy.
I'm
I
not gonna lie. Yeah. All right.
I just did it.
UCLA's good.
Yeah,
UCLA's really good. Wazoo, I really haven't watched any of their stuff.
they beat a scrappy Wisconsin team 2 weeks ago. That's what boosted them in here.
Okay. Yeah.
Miami, Tyler Van Dyke. I mean, he's finally showing that he's actually like a competent quarterback. They've been saying it for years now, and I haven't seen it, but again, the Texas A&M game was crazy.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Okay.
We know about
So,
Colorado.
okay, one I'd like to touch on this. How did Clemson fall out? Because I knew they lost to Duke, but they
I
didn't
don't
fall out
know.
after Duke.
I don't know.
Because I just pulled up their schedule and they killed Charleston Southern last week, and then they killed FAU this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't.
I don't know. I just saw Clemson in the coaches poll and not in the AP. So, all right. I've never known Duke as a football school, but holy crap, they're running with it right now.
They are. They're crazy.
Oh my God. Duke, week 1, huge win against Clemson. Are you kidding me?
Facts.
That was crazy. And then they're taking that basketball school title and running with it. Same with Carolina.
Carolina.
As much as I hate Carolina as a state fan, and now I go to App State. As much as I hate Carolina, they're good. Drake May's not having the Heisman season all Carolina fans hoped for, but
I feel like
they've got a run game and they've got a defense somehow.
I'm gonna keep these next this next bit short and sweet. Oregon State, I love the respect. Oregon State's a good squad. I'm not even trying
DJ Uyangale.
to he's good. I don't care what anyone says. He's a good quarterback.
He is. Now that he's not
Bama,
Clemson, I hate Clemson.
I mean, it was raining. But I'll give them credit. But USF,
They should have beat UCF. They should have killed them. 17-3 is as Alabama.
USF is a bottom group of 5 team, and they just looked like crap.
Like USF sucks.
Yeah,
and they scored 17 points against Alabama. Scored 17 points against USF. That's crazy.
And then, I mean, Florida State dropping, that makes sense. They barely beat a bad Boston College team.
Yeah, only by Texas, 2 points, 31-29. Crazy score for Florida State.
I think that how about you? But I think the fact that Texas is good for college football.
I think the fact that no one is like an overarching favorite. Like Georgia obviously is number 1, but no one's like an overarching favorite. They only beat South Carolina last week by 10.
Yeah, they didn't look the best that first half.
Exactly. Like honestly, I even think there aren't even any playoff locks.
No.
I think anyone
can make it.
Yeah, I think anyone from honestly Alabama could find its way back.
I think 1 to 9. I think any of the teams from 1 to 9 have potential.
I think anyone from 13 to 1 to 13 could make it.
No. I don't believe in Utah. I think Utah
does always find a way to sell at the very end of the season.
Yeah.
They'll probably sneak their way into the Rose Bowl again. But Washington with Michael Penix, crazy. Sam Hartman is amazing at Notre Dame. Oregon just continues to kill teams.
Yeah. I'm not
Speaking of killing teams, they killed Portland State in week 1, and then Portland State went on to play
I don't remember
some school.
But I saw
91 to nothing.
I saw that.
91 to nothing.
That was crazy. Going back to Sam Hartman and Notre Dame. let's wrap up the college football segment with talking about Notre Dame versus Ohio State this weekend and who we think is gonna
Oh
win.
wow.
So Notre Dame's the home team, but regardless if they're the home team,
Marvin Harrison Jr. still exists.
he exists. I'm picking Notre Dame. I'm sorry. I think Sam Hartman and I can't pronounce it. Arnold. I can't pronounce. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but the running back for Notre Dame, they're legit. I think they're legit. I think that I don't think they make the playoffs this year, but I think they beat Ohio State. I don't believe Kyle McCord, as a quarterback for Ohio State. He's good. Don't get me wrong, but I have a sneaking suspicion that especially since they have the advantage home field advantage, Notre Dame's going to win this game. I don't know.
I'll go with Notre Dame too.
Yeah,
I'll go with Notre Dame too.
I think that they're gonna. I think they're gonna.
Sam Hartman is a legitimate another Heisman contender, probably second behind Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I mean, me and as teams fans of ACC teams, how good Sam Hartman is. His time at Wake Forest, he was crazy.
He was amazing at Wake Forest. All right, so we said we were going to wrap up college football, but we actually lied. We're going to talk about Heisman candidates. Go.
So, to start off,
give me your top four.
Top four. Four. I'm gonna go Michael Penix Jr. for Washington. He's looked elite through these 4 weeks. In fact, I mean, look at him right there, top of the screen. I mean, throughout this year, he's look at, I mean, he's completed 74% of his passes, which is a pretty high clip. With 1,300 yards passing and 12
touchdowns, one pick.
Only one ratio. Pick, so he doesn't turn the ball over.
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say Michael Penix Jr. at number 4. Honestly, I think we're gonna end up having the exact same.
Probably number 3. Once again,
can I do it? Can I do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, number 3, Shedeur Sanders.
Yup.
He's having a crazy season. He averages the most passing yards per game, and it's actually like crazy. Was it 400 something?
And he really
he completes almost 80% of his passes are completed.
Mm-hmm.
And he once again also has an amazing touchdown to interception ratio.
I mean, one pick, and it wasn't even his fault. If you watch the game, it was right, and I think it was Jimmy Horn's hands, and actually Henry Blackburn just snagged it right out of.
Yeah, he got the interception.
Horn's hands.
I remember seeing
it wasn't his fault. Number 3.
You mean number 2?
Number 2. I'm gonna go Sam Hartman. I think that Sam Hartman hasn't turned the ball over once. I know that his passing yards isn't as much, nor is the completions, but I mean, if you watch the team, he's playing at an elite level. I mean, look at that quarterback rating.
And he's safe with the football.
He's super safe with the football. And that's always been something he's done throughout his whole collegiate career. I mean, if we can pull up his college stats here, I mean, look at that. I mean, 38 and 12 and 39 14 is a pretty decent clip. I mean, he's pretty safe with the football, and he's always been a good passer. And I think
he's just on another level this year so far. 13 touchdowns, no picks is insane.
I think to no one's surprise, number 1. Wow, I'm actually surprised he's so far down here, but Caleb Williams, he's just, I mean, I don't see him winning the Heisman. Because it's unlikely that a quarterback will do that.
Go back to
Back to
back.
back.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a blue chip type of prospect. He's gonna probably be the number 1 overall pick. Or not. I don't know. You see the storylines the news that he might stay in college.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And once again, another quarterback super safe with the football, 12 touchdowns, 0 picks.
Mm-hmm. I think we should talk maybe like some dark horses. Just at least one that I wanted to mention. This kid right here, Audric is to me. I don't want to pronounce his name, but he's been going crazy.
Esteem.
He's been going crazy. Been going crazy for Notre Dame, and he's a big guy. I mean, 5'11" isn't tall, but for a running back, it's decent.
That's a massive running back right there. That's a big boy.
That's a big boy. And
is he the FBS leader in rushing yards?
He is the FBS leader in rushing yards.
Right ahead of App State's very own Nate Noel.
App State's very own
Get Nate Noel in here. Oh yeah.
Nate Noel. Not I don't think it'll be a dark horse Heisman, but I mean
he's stunting out there.
Someone you gotta keep your eyes on. Someone you gotta keep your eyes on. He's been nothing short of elite through these 3 games. And
we're coming for Wyoming next week.
Facts. Not to toot my own horn here. But North Carolina's run defense is pretty decent. It's pretty good, I think. Week 1 we allowed
you did hold them to a season low.
Season low
with that being only 3 games.
Season low of 127 yards and 2 tutties.
Oh, it wasn't even season low. He got his lowest against Gardner Webb.
If he's going up and up and up every game, God knows what he's going to do in Wyoming this week. He might rush for 250.
Who knows?
But yeah, that
keep an eye out for Nate Noel, FBS rushing champ. FBS rushing champ right there.
So we're gonna look at some of these games this week. Let's start off with just look at this Thursday night slate. Just this one game. This is gonna be a good game, I think.
It's a Sun Belt Conference rivalry.
Yeah, and both these teams are pretty scrappy Sun Belt teams. I mean, they're pretty darn good. And so I think
Coastal's good. Georgia State's undefeated.
Mm-hmm. But Coastal State
is Coastal undefeated?
No, they lost to UCLA, but UCLA is a ranked opponent.
Okay, yeah.
But they gave him a tough fight.
Should be a good game.
Let's just go through and we'll predict these games for you. So I think Coastal comes out with this one, in my opinion.
I think Coastal wins too.
Wisconsin versus Purdue. Purdue's always been a pretty decent football team, but I'm gonna go Wisconsin. Former UNC offensive coordinator, new Luke Fickell from Cincinnati.
North Carolina State versus Virginia. Virginia sucks. It's actually terrible. They're one of 7 winless FBS teams.
And they're such a Power 5 team. Come on, let's go. NC State.
Yeah, NC State.
I mean,
Michigan's gonna kill Rutgers.
Michigan's gonna win. No need to talk much about that. I think this Florida State Clemson game is a lot closer than people might think.
I agree.
I don't think Clemson's gonna win. I don't, but I do think that Florida State's not gonna get by with an easy win.
Yeah, they might be going into this thinking it's a easy win. They'll get caught in a trap game.
Yeah,
I don't like either of these schools, Florida State or Clemson. I've always hated them, but hopefully no one dies.
Hopefully they both lose. Hopefully they both lose.
Hopefully they both lose.
If that's possible, I want it.
Syracuse is undefeated. Syracuse is good. And Garrett Schrader The
He's
sleight of
legit.
hand, the sleight of hand master. Garrett Schrader's legit. Garrett Slater.
I'm going Syracuse in that
Did,
one.
oh my God, Garrett Schrader had 25 carries for I think like 130 yards
No
in his
way.
in the last game
That's
against
crazy.
Purdue. Crazy stat line. He was their leading rusher.
That's crazy.
He's the new Lamar,
A
White Lightning.
little vanilla Vic, if you will.
Yeah,
All right. Auburn versus Texas A&M. I think this will be a good one.
it'll be good in conference rivalry.
I mean, they're in College Station. You know, anything can happen in College Station.
I'm
That was
going A&M.
yeah. That and anything can happen in College Station. That proved that last year. But I do think Texas A&M is going to come out with the win against Auburn. Which, given Auburn is they're all right, but they're not. I think Texas A&M is going to be good this year, somewhat.
Yeah.
We're just gonna we're gonna talk big games like Aidan said, and we're gonna get out of here. After we talk about Charlotte versus Florida.
Shut up. Go back up to Colorado versus Oregon. That's
Florida
going to
wins
be
that
the
game.
game of the week.
Florida wins that game.
Colorado versus Oregon.
Colorado versus Oregon.
Probably
Picks
one
for
of
Shador
the biggest
Sanders.
games.
Coach Prime versus Dan Lanning.
I think Oregon destroys them.
You think Oregon destroys them?
Yeah.
I agree.
Let's be honest. At the end of the day, it's still Colorado
Without Travis Hunter.
without Travis Hunter, and they're in Eugene.
And they're in Eugene. It's just
I think Oregon defends home field advantage. Oregon.
I do think Colorado puts up a fight.
Honestly, I don't even know if it'll be close.
Colorado puts up a fight. I do think they do. But I do think
it won't go down without one. But I think
Oregon ends up winning
close.
that game. Yeah.
So do
I. UCLA versus Utah. I watched the UCLA Coastal game. As we can pull up here, 27-13. I just don't think I don't think they're like that. I think that they're a friends top 25 team, but I think Utah beats them. Although, like I said, I don't think Utah is a top 10 team, but I just think they're better than UCLA, especially with home field advantage.
Yeah.
I think Utah wins that game. Ole Miss versus Alabama.
Crazy game. I don't think Alabama wins.
Alabama can't pick a starting quarterback. They can't.
Alabama's lost their identity.
They have. And Ole Miss has Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart's a swag-looking quarterback.
Yeah.
And
I think Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss upsets Alabama.
I think Lane Kiffin gets one on his old mentor here.
Yeah,
I do. Let's just scroll. I think most of these are just like gimme games. But actually, I want to stop. I want to talk about Louisville. They haven't been this good since Lamar Jackson. I'm enjoying. I think they're this one win away from being a top 25 team. They look good.
Yeah, I agree. And they're going against an easy Boston College opponent. And that didn't look so easy against Florida State.
No.
So, all right.
Oregon State versus Washington State. I like we've said earlier, I don't know much about Washington State. They did win against a good Wisconsin team. But Oregon State is I think that they dark horse Pac-12 possible champion this year. They look good. They have been good. So I think they go into Washington. I think they win this game.
All right. Next biggest game, Charlotte versus Florida. Charlotte goes into Gainesville.
Florida wins
and gets destroyed.
Yeah. Florida wins that game. I think Charlotte scores maybe 14.
All right. Appalachian State. This is not their first away game, but it is their first out-of-state game. Mm-hmm. Our first 3 games were in Boone, in Chapel Hill, and back in Boone, and they were all against in-state rivals.
Now you look at
Gardner Webb, UNC, and
you
ECU.
Look at this, and Wyoming. Not a
They
bad
look
team.
they don't look bad. Like they beat Texas Tech, who was
Who
supposed to be a good team, and
they
then they
took it to
turn
Oregon.
around and they only beat Portland State by 14.
So a little bit of an
And then they didn't even put up a fight against Texas. So
they're
I
on
think this will be a great game.
I agree. A primetime game.
I think I think Appalachian State pulls out.
I think
That's not a homer pick. Not a
no.
homer pick. I swear.
I
I think
think
App State pulls out a win.
I'll go in agreement with you. Uh, I think
Texas and Baylor.
I don't even think it's a close game. I think you're just
It's just a in-state rivalry.
yeah.
Honestly, like in those games, anything can happen.
We've already
Biggest game of the week: Ohio State, Notre Dame.
we've already in predictions. Notre Dame. We
Notre Dame
explained that
takes
earlier.
down takes down Big Brother Ohio State.
Yup. Iowa versus Penn State. I've said this earlier. Like I said, Iowa's not bad. They're not good. Offense is garbage. I think Penn State, especially being at home. I mean, you've seen Penn State. It's
Penn
electric there.
State's home games are
As long
crazy.
they're gonna win that game as long as they're not playing Ohio State.
Yeah.
North Carolina at Pittsburgh. I think that
Pitt
Pittsburgh
just lost to West Virginia, and
Pittsburgh's
West Virginia is not a great team.
I think Pittsburgh's a decent team, but I don't.
Well, West Virginia is not a decent team.
You know North Carolina always likes to
Let's to make things interesting.
they like to make things interesting every game. So we're gonna see about that. I'm not gonna jinx it here. So we are speaking of close games. Let's talk about NFL. This horrible game that was Saints Panthers last night. And even that we'll get to the Dolphins game later. The Panthers are garbage. I mean, I can't even like sit here and act like they didn't. The offense sucks. We got one garbage time touchdown. I mean, the team just sucks. We can't give Bryce Young any time. We have no weapons. I saw a meme today that said that if the police searched the Carolina Panthers car, you'd find no weapons. Like they suck. They're garbage and they can't defense looks all right. I mean, the defense looks all right. Cornerbacks suck. We lost a leader in Shaq Thompson, but it is what it is. I don't really want to talk about it.
Let's go back to the top.
Yeah.
And we'll pick out the interesting ones.
The Vikings are the best 0-2 team, not named the Bengals, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, they have to be. They were down a very decent amount, and for Kirko to will them back to being less than a touchdown game in a primetime game.
Yeah.
Kirko going 364 and 4 touchdowns in a primetime game. You ever heard of that?
Yeah. I promise you.
DeAndre Swift comes back after a horrible week 1 against the Patriots. Gets 28 carries, 175 yards, and a touchdown. He had 3 rushing yards against the Patriots.
I saw a stat that that DeAndre Swift had like a total of 140 some yards before contact. That's crazy.
That's crazy. He had like huge runs.
That shows the offensive line how good they are.
The Eagles have an amazing offensive line.
I promise you, no one watched this game in America, but I did, and I can tell you this
Falcons
game delivered.
Falcons. I watched it.
The Falcons might be a decent.
They were losing.
The Falcons
were down big.
They might be a decent squad. They might be a dark horse sneaky playoff team. And that comes to the fact that the division's garbage.
I think you're overreacting.
But
I think they've just got 2 easy games out the way.
Okay, but Jordan Love,
you can say that the Packers were not an easy game, but they played the Bears last week.
They also didn't have Aaron Jones. But
they were winning. They blew a lead.
I'm not going to overreact that Jordan Love is going to be the next Hall of Fame quarterback in the Packers, in the Packers history. But he does not look like a bust. He looks like a decent quarterback.
Jordan Love looks good. Talk about not being a bust. Bijan Robinson.
Freaking love him. Love the man. Yeah, I'm a
Bijan is
Panthers fan.
amazing.
I love the man though. Bills Detroit Raiders. Not much to say about that.
Not much
Josh
to talk
Allen.
about.
How good
Yeah,
he's a quarterback.
Josh Allen showed why he's Josh Allen. The
Ravens.
Bengals.
Ravens pretty good, pretty good.
The
But
Bengals decided to score touchdowns finally.
the Bengals like they're not this bad. Their defense is bad, but they're not this
Their
bad.
defense sucks.
They need to figure it out. They need to figure out. I still believe that they can get the playoffs. This is not the end. Shouldn't keep their heads down.
The Bengals lost a lot of defensive players though. They lost Jesse Bates this offseason. They lost Von Bell. They lost Eli Apple. Not that like he's crazy or anything, but he was like a core starter for him.
Yeah.
Seahawks Lions, crazy
game. They always deliver.
Yeah, the Lions are always just a fun team to watch.
Yeah,
Dan Campbell is an amazing coach. The Lions. Oh my god! Speaking of, did you see, Jared Goff hand the ball off and then he gets like mauled by that guy? Oh my god! It was like 3 seconds after he handed the ball off, and he just got destroyed by some linebacker.
Dang. I was kind of sad to see Jared Goff throw a pick though. They said he was chasing some record for most consecutive passes without throwing a pick.
Yeah.
Since like Tom Brady or something. I don't know. Chargers, Titans.
So, speaking of the best 0-2 teams, I completely lied to you. Yeah. I said Vikings were the second best 0-2 team. No, it's the Chargers.
No.
The Chargers. Justin Herbert has to be, he's following that same Matt Stafford arc. Puts up numbers, puts up points, and his team just doesn't win.
Yeah, Justin Herbert's a good quarterback. And
Justin Herbert is amazing. And Keenan Allen, what a game from him. He's so old, but he's so good.
Might as well get those games in there because he can't stay on the field for very long.
Yeah.
Nick Folk, former Patriot, great. It's a game winner in that one.
The Bears suck.
Baker looks like a good quarterback.
He's really impressive. He's really impressive.
He looks like a good quarterback. I love to see it. I think it's. He has good weapons with him. I love to see it. I'm enjoying to see it. This Chiefs Jaguars game freaking blew. It sucked.
Patrick Mahomes didn't even really play that well. There was turnovers. The Jaguars couldn't score. They ruined
the Jags had like 5 almost touchdowns, and Zay Jones had 3 of them.
Zay Jones had 0 points for me in fantasy.
Yeah, it was a bad game. Chiefs win.
Colts Texans, no one cares, but CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson looked amazing.
Yeah, it sucks Anthony Richardson with a concussion, but Gardner Minshew is good for football. I will say that.
Gardner Minshew's good at football.
He's good for football, and he's good at football. Nico Collins having a good game. I love to see it. The Rams look like it's Sean McVay at the end of the day. Sean McVay is an elite head coach. He is willing this team to be good. They look good. They look like a good team.
Talk about Puka Nacua.
He's
the greatest no-name player we have ever heard of ever.
Yeah, he didn't have a face last week in fantasy.
No, he didn't. ESPN didn't even have his player picture up there, and they do now.
I think that I'm interested to see what they do with both him and Cooper Kupp once Cooper Kupp comes back, because I want to see how that works, because he's playing the Cooper Kupp role.
Yeah. And Christian McCaffrey continues to be elite after he leaves the Panthers.
Yeah, 49ers win that one. The Cardinals.
This game was a battle of which team is the worst team in the NFL.
It was a really good ending.
Yeah, it was a really good ending, and the Giants. It was a nice comeback win, but it was a really big who's the worst team in the NFL game, and ultimately it's the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's.
It's the Cardinals. The Cardinals are gonna go 0-17. Let's be real. The Cardinals just they suck. Okay.
Cowboys. This game
last week, the Jets could have fooled us. I've been saying the Jets aren't that good, and Aaron Rodgers getting hurt helps that. But I still think the Jets still are all right, because as you can see, Dalvin Cook isn't doing anything.
No,
he's not. They're still using Breece Hall as the lead back, and he still barely touched the ball in this game. And the Cowboys, The Cowboys are
Legit.
they're good. As much as it pains me to say that,
They
they're
say
really
it
good.
every year, but who knows? Is that
I think this might be their year.
this might be their year. They look amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
their defense is the third highest fantasy scorer out of everybody. And if you didn't know that, it's a fun fact.
Is that actually true?
That's actually true. They have the third highest fantasy score.
Oh my god.
That's how good.
Like 36 fantasy points last week.
Yeah, and they dropped 19 or 16 or something like that.
It was 16.
They picked off Zach Wilson 3 times. Commanders Broncos was another one of those really good games.
I really thought Russell Wilson and the Broncos were going to be back. I really did. They went up 21-3 very early, and then they just couldn't score in the second half. They just couldn't. I thought Russell Wilson was going to be back. Too bad Jerry Jeudy didn't get me any fantasy points, but oh my god, whoever, Marvin Mims,
right there, yeah,
great game, and he got a punt return, like a very big punt return. Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. No, I'll go nuts on this.
All
right. So back-to-back heartbreakers from the Patriots. Oh my God, we could not get anything going the entire game, and then Mac Jones decided to take his tail out from between his legs and launch that ball. And I mean, he did great. Tua didn't even look too stellar this game, but you know who did? Raheem Mostert. We could not stop Raheem Mostert. We could not stop him. And so, and for that game to come down to Mike Gesicki having to lateral that ball to Cole Strange, and at first glance, I thought he got it. I thought we were still in it. But back-to-back heartbreakers last week, I think it was Kayshon Boutte. I think it was.
Yeah.
He got 1 foot in bounds, and I thought he got it in on 4th down, and we turned the ball over. That was 4th and 10. And then this one, 4th and 4, we throw an out route to Mike Gesicki, and he just doesn't catch it in stride, and he can't turn upfield, so he has to spin around, and he just doesn't get it. Throws it to Cole Strange, and literally inches. Back-to-back games, 2 heartbreakers. And not to mention Tua owns the Patriots. He's 5-0 against us.
Tua's a good quarterback. I don't care what anyone says. I'll leave it at that. Browns Steelers. I'm gonna be honest. I watched those Panthers games. Unfortunately, as horrible as it was. So I can't really tell.
Nick Chubb's knee exploded.
Yeah, that.
Oh my God, that looks horrible.
George Pickens had that long 70-yard.
George Pickens is good.
You know who looks good? Really good? The Steelers defense looked legit. Alex Highsmith, former Charlotte 49er.
Okay. Talk about TJ Watt becoming the new all-time Steelers franchise record in sacks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Watt family just breeds talent. Even Derek Watt.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, so we're gonna end this with our power rankings. 16 is the Falcons, because the Falcons look like a decent NFL team. Nothing crazy, but they look at the.
I have the Falcons all the way down at 20.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I just happen to think that at the end of the day, they're still the Falcons. Like, they have Bijan and Drake London and
Kyle Pitts. Give Kyle Pitts the ball, please. Kyle Pitts is a generational.
Oh my God,
talent.
Did you see the videos of him just being wide open?
Yes, like he's a tight end. He's a generational talent. And Arthur Smith. I mean, he just doesn't use him like he should. I mean, then you're winning football games at the end of the day, but like you gotta use your dude. Gotta use him.
Yeah. All right.
15 for me. I got the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield. It felt like they're a quarterback away from being at least able to win this division.
But Baker looks good.
If Baker plays the way he does, granted it's against the Bears, and the Vikings have a defense. Like they're all right. Nothing crazy.
The Vikings defense is awful.
Yeah. but like he played two bad defenses, but at the end of the day, no one believes in him. So
All right.
I'll give him that.
So we both have the Jets at 14,
Yeah,
and I have a feeling that spot will only get lower and lower
I agree. I just
because
wanted,
of Zach Wilson.
yeah.
All right. Take it away. I'm 13. Once we get into 10,
All
then
right.
we can compare.
So my number 13 is the Chargers. Um, I don't believe I mean I think that they're still a decent team, but like they're 0-2 and Justin Herbert needs some help. They do have they didn't have Eckler, but
What more? How much more help can they get?
I don't know.
Austin
Brandon
Eckler
Staley.
just got injured, didn't he?
Brandon who?
Austin Eckler.
Yeah, he didn't play last week.
Yeah.
Um,
Um.
Seahawks, Vikings, Bengals. I mean, they're all
Yeah.
kind of
They're all kind of interchangeable. I have them
yeah.
all right there. Like I have the Bengals, Seahawks, Chargers, Vikings, all next to each other.
Yup. All right. Let's just kind of speed through this top 10 here. Um, so I have I said Bengals, but I have Lions, Jags, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Eagles, Dolphins. And like I said, the Cowboys, I think they're legit, but not as legit as the Niners. The Niners are just crazy.
You see, I have the Eagles at 1.
Do you?
Yes, I have
I
the
think
Eagles at
best
1, and then I have Niners and Cowboys.
see
I think those
I
are like the
respect it.
undisputed top 3.
Uh,
Basically, why does Drew have the Dolphins at 3? Why?
um
Why does Drew have the Dolphins at 3?
well first I want to ask you where you have the Dolphins.
I have the Dolphins at 6. But
6.
but the reason I don't understand why you have them at 3 is because they have 2 games which were won by one score or less.
Yeah.
But those were against your 13 and your 22.
Yeah. Um,
Where in my case they would be against my 12 and my 25,
yeah, well,
being the Chargers and the Patriots.
I just think I think that they have a good enough offense.
And
And,
Jalen Waddle's in concussion
and
protocol.
that's fair. Sorry, I just as a fantasy owner of his, I'm thinking of the best.
Oh, so now you want to talk about fantasy owners?
No, we don't do it.
Oh,
In case you want to know, guys, my friend
Aaron Rodgers
here,
blew up his leg, and so did Nick Chubb.
yeah,
Okay,
he had Aaron Rodgers and Nick Chubb. He's 0-2. He's going through it, but that's irregardless. I think the Dolphins have potential to be one of those top teams in the league. And so yeah, I believe in them. I think they're better than I think the Eagles looked like garbage in the first game against the Patriots. And that might be credit to Belichick and the defense. I mean, the Patriots defense is scrappy, but I just think they look like garbage that first game. And then they look pretty decent against the Vikings, but
yeah,
as you said earlier, the Vikings defense isn't nothing crazy.
yeah. So
You want to look at matchups?
yeah,
We're gonna get into matchups here for the week. We'll start off with the Thursday night game, which is Giants Niners. I think that
yeah.
this
But
one time,
Christian McCaffrey is gonna grab Daniel Jones and just like stiff.
yeah.
He's gonna hit him with a Derrick Henry dribble move.
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna happen with Daniel Jones playing offense and so is Christian McCaffrey playing offense, but
It'll happen.
it'll happen. All right. Cleveland or Tennessee at Cleveland.
I think that'll be a good game. Would have
I
been
think,
better if Nick Chubb's knee didn't explode.
yeah, I agree. I don't know who's gonna win that one. I'm gonna go Browns.
I'll go with the Browns too. The Titans don't really look too good.
I think that this game could be a lot better than people think. I still think the Lions would bring it
Yeah.
out. I think
Uh,
Lions win it, but I mean, the Detroit's kind of off and on, I feel like.
Yeah, initial reaction to the game is Detroit blows them out because I mean they beat the Chiefs and then went to OT against the Seahawks, but Atlanta's a little scrappy team. As much as I hate the Falcons, but
think I think this game will be another good one. New Orleans and Green Bay.
what is up
I
with the Lions having great games all the time?
yeah.
All right, New Orleans, Green Bay.
I don't know.
I'm taking the Packers. Jordan Love looks great. The Saints just look okay.
Yeah.
Like
I'll agree. I'll agree.
who did the Saints play week 1?
Titans barely beat them.
Yeah,
But
yeah, and then they barely beat the Panthers.
the Saints defense is good. I'll give you that. They have not that garbage time touchdown we gave up that we scored was the first touchdown they've given up all year. Which I mean, like
I take the Packers. I'm taking the Packers. Jordan Love looks great, and so did the no-name receivers.
I think it depends. I think Aaron Jones plays, Packers win. I think Aaron Jones doesn't play. I think Saints win. That's just me. Denver at Miami. I think Miami wins this game, but I think Denver.
I think it could also be a good game.
I think Denver gives them a little bit of trouble. I
think Miami wins.
Los Angeles at Minnesota. I
think the Chargers win. Finally.
I believe in Kirk Cousins, and I believe he's gonna have another good game and actually win this one.
Who's the best 0-2 team?
But this has game of the league potential written all over it.
Who's the best 0-2 team?
The what?
Who's the best 0-2 team?
Vikings.
You know, you see me. I think it's the Patriots. I'm just kidding. As much as I wish it was the Patriots.
Speaking of Patriots,
the Jets suck.
Zach Wilson,
correction. Zach Wilson sucks. Nathaniel Hackett is their OC. He sucks.
Bill Belichick loves to give Zach Wilson a hard time. We know this.
No, just the Jets. It's just we give the Jets a hard time.
I think New England pulls this one out, and that's just my personal opinion.
Patriots win finally. Let's get it. Bills and Commanders.
I think Bills are going. As much as I love Sam Howell, you know, Carolina guy.
Don't say
from the area of Charlotte. Went to Sun Valley High School. I think that Buffalo destroys them. I think they make them look silly.
I want the Commanders to win.
So do I.
Like the Bills, but
I just don't think it's gonna happen.
The Bills are winning.
Yeah. Jacksonville at Houston, another one of these games. I think Jacksonville, they just decide to not play like garbage like last week. They just destroy them and make them look silly.
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence has a great game. Maybe Zay Jones even shows up. Maybe he suits up this week.
Maybe. Indianapolis at Baltimore. They always both teams, you know, Gardner Minshew, he's off and on. I think that Gardner Minshew, I don't know. I can't tell you who's starting a quarterback this week.
I think it's a no-brainer.
I think Baltimore wins regardless.
Yeah,
because Baltimore looks like a good team.
Baltimore looks really good.
Now that Odell has weapons.
Odell got hurt.
Carolina at Seattle. I think Seattle wins this one. But
yeah, because the Panthers suck. Seattle wins.
I think the Panthers can win this game. I do. And that's
Geno Smith looked really good.
And that's not the bias in me. I just think that they can win the game. I just don't think they will.
Yeah, Geno Smith looked really good.
We can skip past Chicago, Kansas City. I think Kansas City actually murders them.
That might be like a 50-point win.
Yeah, some Cowboys Giants type deal. Another one. Dallas loves playing bad teams.
Another like
cakewalk for Dallas. Dallas defense is gonna put like 50 on them. Pittsburgh at Las Vegas. I think giving the Steelers back-to-back primetime games is kind of horrible. But
this is like, I mean, I think this will be a good game.
I think it'll be a good game, but I think Pittsburgh's defense just is too much for Jimmy G at the end of the day.
I agree. But
Philadelphia.
then again, who is guarding Devontae Adams?
I don't know.
You can just take Patrick Peterson on him.
I don't know, man.
I think the Steelers take it.
I think, yeah, I agree. Can we just like take a second and look at those ticket prices? That's absurd.
Yeah, it's because it's prime time.
Fair. Not primetime game. Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. I think Philly wins this one, but I really think if Baker Mayfield plays like he's been playing, Tampa Bay has the potential to win this one.
Yeah.
I think Tampa Bay's defense is pretty decent. I think that they're pretty right. So we'll see how if they can stop the really good offensive line that Philadelphia has, plus the weapons that they have. And Philly just has a loaded offense and a good defense. Let's not breeze past that they have guys like Hassan Reddick, and
Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter.
Yeah, I mean that defensive line
Darius
is
Slay, James Bradbury.
Josh Sweat is really good on that line. So we're gonna see. We're gonna have to see.
They have a crazy defense.
That about wraps it up for the first episode of the Stix with Aidan and Drew. I look forward to talking to y'all next week. Peace out.